to attend CDL classes for his CDL license. I'd like to make a
Ridiculous.
motion to approve Union Township's payment to Frank Server to attend CDL classes.
He don't need a CDL.
I'll second that.
He don't need a CDL.
Okay, their motion, Mr. Lawson second. Is there any discussion?
Yes. I think we should make the payment directly to the CDL company. And it should be made clear in an agreement to Frank that we pay the $5,000 whether he passes or not. The second time, if he would not happen to not pass, the second time it's his dime. So, how would I do that, Gary? We're gonna make a motion to drop the first motion, or?
Well, the CBA requires that the township pay the cost of obtaining a CDL license.
No, to correction, it says it requires us to pay the cost of renewal and maintenance of a CDL license, not the cost of acquiring one.
And when he was hired, he knew he didn't have a valid CDL, and that was gonna have to be obtained.
Is this kind of the same as PennDOT?
CDL does
Since
not
the law
require.
has-
What's a CDL license through PennDOT?
No, my stepson drives for PennDOT. He works there for 30 years. He drives everything. He don't have a CDL. It's not required
So I think it's appropriate.
for
to
municipals.
lay out exactly when he
That's a fact.
takes the class, I believe it's May. It does have some time. That the township will cover the tuition or whatever the cost of the class is. And if we want to add some additional items, we'll have to run it by Mr. Seaver, and he may talk to the union.
And just, I put this in the board packets, but just for the public's knowledge. So what happened was, Mr. Sever was hired without a CDL because he was gonna get his CDL. And prior to February 2022, that was not a huge deal. Like, it was very minimal cost, no problem, he was gonna go get it, fine. He was still on probation, and in after he was out of probation, February 2022, I'm not sure on the probation thing, don't quote me, but in 2022 of February, the law changed. And it requires classroom hours for CDL licensure. So the township wasn't sure how to handle this. Do we make him do it or fire him? Do we pay for it? Do we help him? What do we do? I worked with Michael Cooney, who is the contact with the Union Township, with the Union, not Union Township. Based off of the conversations that were had in the board meeting, that allowed me to do so. And at that point, the attorney said, "This is a new law we're all navigating, but the union attorney is absolutely taking the stance that you must pay for it." Didn't take the stance that they had to do it during his working hours, so we're asking him to do it after hours, which he is agreeable to. But the attorney said you absolutely have to pay for it. Now, our CBA is up with the union at the end of next year. We absolutely have the opportunity to renegotiate and talk about some options with this new law. Absolutely. However, the union's stance right now is that we have to pay for it. If they want to fight it with the union, if the board decides that, that's their prerogative, but talking about lawyer fees, that's probably gonna cost more than just paying for him to get it and keeping an employee that overall we're very, very happy with. He's an excellent
So-
worker.
He doesn't necessarily require a CDL
He
for the
does.
equipment he's currently operating and so forth.
He does, yes.
But
He-
we
no,
have
he
other
needs-
road.
He needs a
He does
CDL.
because we require him to in our part of the contract.
So in the contract requires a union, all of our road crew to have a CDL. I misspoke because I am not a lawyer and didn't read the contract. The contract absolutely requires them to have CDLs. We absolutely do have some trucks that require CDLs. If we
We have
want this,
some trucks that require CDLs.
yes,
Some
but
that don't. Some road crew members do, and he does not.
no, all of our road crew members have CDL,
Yeah, except for him.
except for him.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, correct,
Except for
yes.
him.
Yes.
No, it was, I think, tabled that night that Mr. Sweat Law Firm was going to go, do some bargaining with the union. But then it happened. It happened even though it was tabled.
So the motion, if I may, Ms. Dupree, the motion to approve him being paid was tabled, but I went back and listened to the minutes when I was doing the minutes, and Solicitor
Because
Sweat.
it wasn't de minimis in nature, I question how much it would be for Mr. Sweat's firm to negotiate with the union.
Yeah, so
And-
Solicitor Sweat explicitly said, with you tabling this item.
I'm just saying, I could have told you that the union was, you require it, you're gonna pay for it. I mean, it didn't take an attorney to go ask the union that, because I mean, we require it, we're gonna pay for it. So I had an objection to even continuing with that, because now, could it have been negotiated that he wouldn't be required to have one, since he was already a,
From my understanding, it's.
I mean, we're looking at, we can't afford serums. And this is a heavy weight. We're looking at telling serums we can't afford them, and we're gonna get Frank a CDL license.
From what our lawyers told me, talking with their lawyers, we don't have a choice.
You only have one guy that has a CDL when the other one's on vacation.
You got one guy with one ambulance. It's the same, I mean, so you have one guy with a CDL license when one's on vacation. So then you work around those jobs. But it's $5,000 for him to get a CDL license for us to pay for when we're talking about we can't afford the service agreement with an ambulance service. It's hard to swallow.
Solicitor Sweat, if we
Missed her
did not
face.
act, do you believe that the union would come after us because it's a
face.
requirement for
Well,
our people?
we would have to change the
Look at her face. Look at her face.
job duty description for this gentleman, that he would be doing activities that require the use of the CDL license. But I know when this job was posted, the requirement was that the applicant had to have or obtain a CDL license.
And he didn't.
Excuse me, what was that? I'm sorry, Supervisor Dupree, I missed that comment.
And he didn't. We were told that he was acquiring one. And Mr. Askin, who was the liaison to the road crew, kind of made us believe that he was acquiring one. He didn't acquire one. His time frame lapsed for being on probationary period, but does he really require a CDL for what he's been currently doing and what, so it's only if somebody's on vacation is required to have a CDL?
PennDOT drivers don't.
Madam Chairman, may I have the floor to address this?
Please.
Here we go.
He needs a CDL. We're building a road crew. We got guys that have vacations, one guy's off, you gotta have the other one on there. You got trucks and snow plows that require CDL.
PennDOT doesn't.
Our job description requires it. The law was changed midterm when he was on probation. We're stuck. I don't wanna fight the union. I think it's fair all around for us to get him this CDL. If he fails the test, he has to pay it the second time, or we're not. I don't see this. We're building a road crew. I mean, this is. What are we gonna do? Just have him cut grass?
Why are we building a road crew? We had a road crew.
Had a road crew.
You had a road crew.
Yeah, it's turning into sleep up Lakes Day too.
Oh, you're talking like Sean McMillan didn't have anything written up in his,
So, but could you elaborate on the, just to refresh me on the one-ton dump trucks with a trailer?
One-ton dump truck pulling the landscape trailer on. He has to have a CDL.
PennDOT driver pulling a snowplow doesn't have to have one. PennDOT. State roads.
So,
We're talking PennDOT State Road.
Yeah. Municipality's different?
so please, we're trying to.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, there's a motion on the table. Attorney Sweat, do you recommend that the board follow through?
Yes.
Okay, there's a motion. Anybody have any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Dare,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Ms. Dupree,
no.
Mr. Trax.
Yes.
Item 10, approved deny execution